In this problem, our goal is to look at the table and decide what type of function is being modeled. Once we've shown that in the table, we're going to write the particular equation algebraically for it. So right away, you can see that our x values are going up by 2 each time. But our y values go up by 9, then by 1, then down by 7. And so there's not an add property that's happening with our y values. You can see going from 20 to 29 to 30, there also isn't anything that we're multiplying by. So anytime that you've looked and exhausted both of those, you could try looking at the differences. And so to go from 20 to 29, that we are adding 9. 29 to 30, we are adding 1. 30 to 23, we are subtracting 7. And 23 to 8, we are subtracting 15. From here, we're going to look at the second differences. To go from 9 to 1, we are subtracting 8. To go from 1 to negative 7, we're subtracting 8. And to go from negative 7 to negative 15, we're subtracting 8. So what we just proved is that we have constant second differences. And we know that functions that have constant second differences are quadratic functions. So now that I know that it's quadratic, I know that my equation needs to be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So I have 3 different variables that I need to solve for. That means that I need to write out 3 different equations. So I'm going to go ahead and pick any 3 points in the table. It doesn't matter which ones you choose. I'm going to start with 2, 20. So I'm going to plug 20 in for y and plug 2 in for x. So I'll have a times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c. And I'm going to go ahead and simplify this. And I'm going to write it as 20 equals 4a plus 2b plus c. I'm going to choose another point in the table. I'll just go ahead and grab the second one. Plug 29 in for y. Plug 4 in for x. So I'll have a times 4 squared plus b times 4 plus c. Again, I'm going to simplify this equation. So I'll have 29 equals 16a plus 4b plus c. I need one more equation, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the third point. I'm going to plug 30 in for y, plug 6 in for x. So I'll have a times 6 squared plus b times 6 plus c. Simplified will give me 30 equals 36a plus 6b plus c. From here we have 3 different equations of 3 different variables. And so to solve this algebraically would be kind of tough. And so instead we're going to use matrices. And we're going to put the coefficients in front of the a, b, and the c's for all 3 equations into a matrix. So I'm going to take 4, 2, and remember there's an imaginary 1 out there. That's going to be my first row. My second row will be 16, 4, and again a 1. And then my last equation, 36, 6, and 1. What we do from here is we're going to take the inverse of this matrix, and you don't need to necessarily know what exactly it is. We'll go over how to do it in our calculator. And we're going to multiply this by a matrix of their y values. And it's important that you stay consistent. Since this is the first equation, we have to put 20 first, then 29, and then the 30. Okay, so in our calculator, we can go to second and x to the negative 1 right there. Go over into edit and grab matrix A. I need this matrix to be a 3 by 3. And I'm going to type in all the values. 4, 2, 1, 16, 4, 1, and 36, 6, 1. So now we have everything stored under matrix A. I'm now going to go back into the matrix menu, and I'm going to go into matrix B. Now notice you can see that there's a 3 by 3 stored in matrix A, so we know that our data is saved. Go over to edit, go into matrix B, and I have 3 rows and 1 column. So this is going to be a 3 by 1. Okay, same thing. We're going to type in our values, 20, 29, and 30. From here, we're going to go to the main menu, the main screen, and I'm going to take matrix A to the -1 power times matrix B. And so I'm going to go back into my matrix menu and now grab matrix A. Don't go over to edit, just grab number 1 and hit enter. I want this to be to the -1. Arrow over, I'm going to multiply this by matrix B, so we're going to go back into the matrix menu, grab matrix B, hit enter, and my answer, for the first one we get a -1, for the second one we get 10.5, and the third one we get 3. So what I was just given is A, B, and C. From here we can now write our particular equation. We'll have y equals ax squared, so -1x squared, plus bx, so plus 10.5x, plus c, so plus 3. And we are done.